All right, let's talk laundry. Does just looking at a full basket make your back start to twinge? Yeah, I thought so. If that sounds familiar, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to transform this dreaded chore from something that just guarantees pain into a task that's, well, manageable, maybe even comfortable. So let's jump right in. This really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The next day pain tax? It's that awful feeling of dread. You know, the one where you're trading clean socks today for that shooting pain down your leg tomorrow? Well, today we're going to figure out how to stop paying that tax once and for all. Okay, first things first, and this is super important. If folding laundry hurts you, it is not because you're weak. It's not a personal failing. You don't need to be stronger. The problem, almost every single time, is your setup. It's something we can actually fix. So let's talk about that pain tax. Why does something so simple end up costing us so much? Once you understand the why behind the pain, the solutions we're going to talk about will feel like complete common sense, not just a bunch of random rules. You know, it's funny. You'd think the problem is some big, dramatic move, like heaving a super heavy basket the wrong way. But that's rarely it. It's more like death by 1,000 cuts, or in this case, 100 tiny, seemingly harmless little bends and twists that just add up. They sneak up on you. So, it turns out these sneaky little movements, they almost always fall into three main categories. And when you get them all happening at the same time, well, that's the perfect storm for a sciatica flare-up. Let's unmask these three culprits, what I like to call the trigger trio. And there they are, the big three. First, you've got the bend, that constant hinging forward to dig into a basket. Then you've got the twist, those little rotations you do without even thinking about it. And finally, there's time, just staying in that bent over position for way too long. Any one of these is kind of bad, but when you put them all together, that's the real problem. So if we're going to point a finger at the main villain in this whole story, it's this move right here, the reach and recover, reaching down into a basket that's on the floor and then pulling yourself back up. Think about it. That one motion combines the bend and usually a little twist, and you might do it 50, maybe 100 times for just one load of laundry. So fixing this is priority number one. Okay, so let's get to the fix. And this is the most important one, so lean in. We are going to find your perfect folding height. No more guessing, no more using the bed or the couch. We're going to use a dead simple, measurable method to get it right. And here's how we do it. It's called the elbow to hip method. I want you to try this with me. Stand up tall, let your shoulders relax, and now bend your elbows like you're a robot at a perfect 90-degree angle. See where your elbows are? The perfect spot for your folding surface is just a little bit below that line. And the reason is simple. It lets your hands do all the work without your back having to hunch over to help. We can even dial it in a little more precisely. You're aiming for a surface that's about 2 to 4 inches below your elbow. That little bit of a drop, right there, that's the magic zone. It's the sweet spot that stops your shoulders from shrugging up to your ears, but keeps your spine nice and straight. And your body will tell you loud and clear if you get it wrong. Think of these as your body's built-in alarm system. If you notice your shoulders are starting to live up by your ears, your surface is definitely too high. And if you feel that familiar rounding in your back, guess what? It's too low. Your body is giving you all the feedback you need. You just have to tune in and listen. Okay, so we've tackled the bend by getting the height right. Awesome. Now let's go after the next culprit in our trigger trio, the twist. We're going to design a smart workflow that makes twisting basically impossible. So here's what your new station looks like. It's a simple 3-zone setup. Zone 1, the basket. It is off the floor. Put it on a chair or a stool so it's about waist high, and put it on your dominant hand side. Zone 2, your fold zone. This is dead center, right in front of you. And Zone 3, the stack zone. This is also right in front of you, super close, well within easy reach. The key is, everything happens in front of your body. No reaching to the side, no reaching behind you. And if you want a super simple way to check if you've got it right, here's the golden rule. If your belly button moves, your station is wrong. Seriously. As you're working, your torso should stay pointed straight ahead. If you have to turn your whole body to grab a shirt or put down a stack of pants, your spine is twisting. We want to move the clothes, not our core. All right, we fixed the bend with the right height. We fixed the twist with the right workflow. Now for the final piece of the puzzle. We have to tackle the third trigger, which is time. This is all about building habits that make this whole system sustainable so you actually stick with it. Look, we all know how it goes. You tell yourself, I'll just finish this one last pile, and then an hour later you're still hunched over. Our willpower just isn't reliable. That's why we need a rule. Enter the 3-3-3 rule. Think of it like microdosing your laundry. It completely removes the decision of should I take a break and makes it automatic. It's your secret weapon against that just one more trap. So, how does it work? It's simple. First, you set a timer on your phone for just 3 minutes. When that timer goes off, you stop. No exceptions. Then you stand up straight and take 3 nice, deep breaths to reset your posture. And the last part is key. You only stack 3 items before moving that stack to its final spot. Why? This forces you to keep your stack small and close, which totally prevents you from twisting to place a giant wobbly pile of shirts. Okay, let's do a quick recap of the most common mistakes and their immediate fixes. You folding down by your knees? Raise that surface up to the elbow minus 2 to 4 inches zone. Are you twisting to get into the basket? Get that basket up to waist height and right next to you. Piling stacks behind you or way off to the side? Bring everything to the front. Finding yourself holding your breath? That's what the 3-breath reset is for. And that little voice saying, just one more load? Tell it to be quiet, do smaller loads, and obey the timer. All of these are things you can literally do today. So here's the deal. I'm not asking you to commit to this forever. I'm asking for a simple experiment, a 15-minute pilot test. That's it. Can you spend 2 minutes right now finding your height, 2 minutes setting up your station, and then just 9 minutes folding using that 3-3-3 rule? The goal here isn't to have the most perfectly organized laundry room for the rest of time. The goal is to make the very next load you do not hurt. So are you ready to give it a try?